Imagine finding a gray paper ball hanging from a branch. From the outside, it looks dead, dry, silent, almost like trash the tree forgot to drop. Then you cut into the bottom and the first surprise appears. The shell is not one wall, it is layer after layer of paper, wrapped around the inside like a tiny weatherproof jacket. That paper was not made in a factory. It came from wood. Workers scraped fibers from bark, fences, old boards, and dead branches. They chewed those fibers with saliva until the wood turned into pulp. Then they spread the pulp into thin sheets. One mouthful at a time, the colony built a hanging paper building. The outer envelope worked like insulation. It blocked wind, it held warmth, it protected the nursery inside. The first version of that building would have been tiny. In spring, a queen starts alone. She finds a sheltered branch, hangs a small stem of paper, and builds the first few cells herself. She lays eggs, she feeds the first larvae, she guards the first rooms. When those larvae become workers, the queen's job changes. She keeps laying eggs while the workers take over the outside world. They scrape wood, they hunt insects, they chew paper, they feed the larvae. They turn a starter nest into a gray ball with a working city inside. And then, near the lower edge, something looks wrong. Brown tubes poke out from the paper. They do not match the rest of the nest. The paper walls are gray and layered. These tubes are smooth, hard, and muddy. So the first story changes. This nest was not only a hornet home. After the original colony left, another wasp found the empty shell and moved into the ruins. That second builder was a mud dauber. A mud dauber is a wasp, but it lives a very different life. A bald-faced hornet colony is social. One queen starts the nest. Workers expand it. The whole group feeds larvae, guards the entrance, and repairs the building. A mud dauber works mostly alone. No paper city, no army of workers. Just one female wasp, wet mud, and a plan for her future young. That plan is almost the opposite of the hornet plan. The hornet colony keeps feeding its young day after day. The mud dauber packs the room before the baby even hatches. She collects mud in small balls, carries it back, mixes it with saliva, and smears it into a tube. Then she turns the tube into rooms. Each room becomes a nursery. And this is where the story gets strange. The room is not empty. Before she seals it, the mud dauber hunts spiders. She does not bring one spider. She may pack a cell with several spiders, sometimes many more, depending on the species and the size of the cell. Then she lays one egg on the food pile. She closes the mud door. After that, the mother does not need to come back with breakfast. The egg hatches in a locked room. The larva wakes up beside a pantry it did not have to hunt. It eats, it grows, then it spins a protective case and changes shape inside the mud chamber. That is why the hidden tubes matter. They are not dirt stuck to the nest. They are sealed rooms. They are lunchboxes. They are cradles. They are a second nursery built inside the abandoned walls of the first. Now go back to the paper nest. Peel away more of the envelope, and the real city appears. Inside are combs. Flat floors of paper cells stacked in tiers. The nest may look round from outside, but the inside is built like shelves. One comb hangs under another. Short paper supports hold them apart. Each cell points downward. Each one is a small, open room for a developing hornet. Some cells are empty, some are capped. A capped cell means the larva finished feeding and closed itself in. Behind that cap, the soft larva is changing into an adult. Legs form, eyes darken, wings fold into place. The body tightens into the shape of an adult wasp. The animal that entered the cell as a pale grub leaves as a black and white wasp with jaws, wings, and a stinger. The whole building exists for that transformation. The queen lays eggs. Workers bring food. Larvae grow in the comb. New workers emerge and join the labor. The nest expands. More workers build more paper. More cells appear. The paper city grows because the young inside it grow. That growth also changes the sound and behavior of the nest. A small spring nest is a private starter home. A summer nest is a busy station. Workers leave and return. Larvae beg for food inside the cells. Adults pass through the gaps between comb floors. The outside envelope hides most of that traffic. Then the nest changes near the end of the season. Early cells mostly produce workers. Later, the colony makes reproductive males and future queens. In some combs, you can see different cell sizes. Small rooms and larger rooms sit in the same paper structure. That size difference is part of the colony's schedule. The nest is not just a shelter, it is a calendar made of paper. Every layer tells you what the colony was doing when that part was built. The outside envelope says, protect the heat. The comb tiers say, raise the young. The cell caps say, transformation is happening. The larger cells say, the season is changing. And the support columns between the combs solve a simple building problem. The comb floors need space between them. Adults must crawl through. Air must move. New cells need room. So the wasps connect the layers with short paper columns, like tiny pillars holding up a ceiling. No blueprint, no ruler, no foreman. Just repeated behavior shared by many workers until a living building appears. Then winter comes. For many paper wasp and hornet colonies, the old workers die. The old nest empties. The paper shell stays behind for a while, hanging from the branch like a used house. That used house still has value. It is dry, it has walls, it has cavities. It has the kind of sheltered corners a solitary insect can use. To a mud dauber, that empty shell can become a safe cavity. So the second story begins after the first one ends. One social colony builds a city from chewed wood. One solitary wasp builds private rooms from mud. One nursery feeds on insects brought by workers. The other nursery is stocked with spiders before the egg even hatches. One depends on a crowd. The other depends on preparation. One keeps the mother or workers close. The other leaves the baby sealed in a room with everything it needs. Both builders solve the same problem. The baby cannot fly. The baby cannot hunt. The baby cannot protect itself from weather, enemies, or starvation. So the adult builds a world around it. That is what is inside a wasp nest. Not just paper, not just cells. A whole system for turning helpless larvae into winged adults. And sometimes, hidden inside that system, another wasp writes its own story in mud. For more strange science stories, subscribe.